how to get the look of John Legend and Chrissy Teigen's house, their family house specifically. If you like this type of content and you want to keep seeing that from Surbanist, which is my channel, please let us know and share it as well. If you know someone who is just moving into a new house, this is their kind of style, it's about family home, you know, where you can start finding inspiration toward the house, how to incorporate your personality into your home.
I'm John Legend.
I'm Chrissy Teigen.
Welcome to our home.
Welcome.
Our designer's name is Jake Arnold.
We love him.
Sometimes people who are really creative and good at the creative stuff aren't good at the business side of things.
So the designer is called Jake Arnold. One thing I'm going to say straight up from the designer is I can see of textures that this was specifically planned for a family, and there's a lot of play as well. You can tell that this designer had a lot of freedom when creating this house. So that's one thing you should know. If you're going to hire a designer, you should really find a balance when bringing in your ideas and also letting the personality of your designer show. I think that's the best way to get the best results from your designer, and from a designer's perspective, from your client. Let your personality show as a client, but let the architect do their job. Pay them anyways. So I'm going to talk about the door. First of all, I love the handle. I think this is definitely an introduction. It's almost like a handshake, very smooth, especially for a large, intimidating looking door, because it looks massive. And I like the tone of the door itself. It looks heavy. Such a handle can really be very welcoming, I think.
I feel like Jake is the, hi Pearl.
Hi, Pearl. Hi, my love. This
sit.
is my baby, Pearl. She
likes to cuddle with Mama on the couch.
insane, but she loves to cuddle. This is my Instagram story room. Everyone's always like, you never leave this couch.
We live here. This is the living room. You know, and some people, their living room is more like a showpiece, and they spend all the time in the den or the family room. But we're actually in the living room quite a lot. We sit here and watch reality TV.
So I'm going to quickly talk about the chair. We're seeing two different curved chairs. So the actual settee, or the long couch, and also the curved side chair. Very ergonomic. You can imagine anyone lying or sitting on that chair has like an S curve, which it replicates the human S spine. So definitely it's going to be comfortable. Just to give you an idea if you don't know what the word ergonomic means. Ergonomic design allows for the use of, let's say, product chairs in this scenario to be tailored to the human body, and those you typically give you the most comfort, basically. That's really the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah, basically my butt leaves a mark for long enough, and the dogs don't help, and the babies spit up,
Yes.
and the kids jumping back and forth. I will say, like, this is a very kid-proof house. People are always scared to bring their kids over. They're like, no, they're gonna jump on everything. I'm like, look at this, it's chaos. Like, hey!
Our living room is very lived in.
We actually use some outdoor fabrics for
Yes.
our indoor couches.
Some of our fabrics are outdoor because they are tougher and they can
So basically she said that the living room is kid-proof, or the house is technically kid-proof as well. So it's not easy for kids to get in accidents or injure themselves by accident. Of course, we're having such round, spherical shapes being used in the living room. It definitely gives that flow as well. So another highlight they're sharing is that their furniture in the living room actually outdoor furniture materials, and obviously you know that's weatherproof, that is basically like water stain. It's easy to get stuff out of this kind of materials, and if you have kids, encouraging you to do the same. Literally, you spend money on a good couch, and then now you get to keep it for longer.
So our TV cabinet is pretty cool. It stays open most of the time because we're usually watching TV
it's never closed.
in this room, but the TV comes out, watch this,
Look
and
at
then
that.
you can swivel it to face the living room more or face the kitchen more. So if Chrissy wants to watch Real Housewives and make dinner.
So I'm going to quickly highlight a few design tips here. The use of curves is very important, as you can see, but there's also conversation. The edges of the rug are being interacted with each piece of furniture. The TV looks like a cabinet, and that is obvious that it was intentional. First of all, to make sure that you don't come in there and you automatically think everyone comes here, sits down, and it's time to watch TV. Even though they do watch TV, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like the classic, you come into everyone's living room and the TV is the first thing you know that this is their living room. It kind of gives that disguise, and if you have the ability to do that, you can. Also, I would suggest if you can't get like a cabinet or TVs that actually give that look, like the LG Gallery TV, you can click on them and have a look at a play around where your TV doesn't necessarily have to look like a TV. It could look like artwork. You can display digital art as well. So it allows people who, for example, you want to collect art, but you can't afford to, or you can't keep physical large piles of art, and have that disguise as well.
Cook right there in the kitchen, and since the kitchen and the living room are so close, I think that's why we spend so much time here, because we're in the kitchen.
We are in the heartbeat of our home. Obviously, we spend so much time in here. You can watch TV from here. It's a fully functional working kitchen.
Yes.
I think like when we go to other people's homes, we're like, oh my God, you can tell that when they don't use it. Or you stay at an Airbnb or something, you're like, oh, these people don't use their kitchen.
Yes.
We really use the shit out of this kitchen. Honestly, we have all 4 ovens going quite often.
Yeah, so we actually have 2 down here, 2 over there, and then we have a microwave over there and an espresso machine. We are literally using all these things all the time. We're doing big meals, having friends over.
Yeah.
We have Thanksgiving here, Christmas here. We do everything. We always wanted to have a home where
Yeah, so both John and Chrissy cook. As a designer, you have to know the kind of client you're working with. In this family home, you can tell that the kitchen is very important. In some people's homes, the living room is more important, but you can tell that yes, they do like to entertain. They do spend a lot of time in the living room, as John said. But the reality is the kitchen is the star. I'm going to quickly talk about the breakfast table, which is also the dining table. Literally the curve that just backs the island in the kitchen. As you can tell, as they said, they use, I'm not going to use the word, the hell out of the kitchen. So they do cook a lot, as I was mentioning. So this house is definitely designed around the kitchen. The curved dining table is definitely a good idea. Even the seats around the dining table also allow for intimacy as well. So if you're thinking of something that doesn't clutter your space, or if you have a smaller apartment, you can incorporate that as an option. I really like the marble top as well on the kitchen counter. It's very different. It's not necessarily the white stained on gray mix that we're typically used to seeing online. I've seen a trend of being adapted in many people's homes. Very cool brown, almost like a dusty color, I would say. Oh, it's a very nice warm brown, dune brown kind of. It really complements the type of wood that is used. And if you notice, they have like this flat but curved gold handles on the kitchen. I think that is also it's kid proof. So because of that extra curve, having like instead of a straight line drawer that you can just pull out, it has that curve where it just allows your hand to like bend a bit.
would be like an open door for our friends and family.
What we love about it too is it's not really precious. This can take such a beating. I mean, we normally have a cutting board on here that everyone sees.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the piano bar. And we're seeing a lot of curves in this room. So in this room, we're seeing a lot of lighting, but there's also a play of color, tone, and a little bit of height as well with the lights. So let's see more.
This is up there. And then we have a record player that's in this beautiful gold cabinet. There's also actually a TV in there, a LG like roll up TV.
Okay, so he has a roll-out TV. It's cool, very old school looking. The wallpaper, the cranes, the gold wallpaper with this tones of brown. You can see the wallpaper is textured, and apart from just slapping on a wallpaper, you can see some of the fine detailing, especially around the bar area. There's like a piping around them, and I think that adds depth and detail to it, where even the walls were thought of when being arranged or when they were determining where to put the wallpaper.
TV in every
We have
room.
TVs everywhere. And then of course we have some of our awards up here. Chrissy's Glamour Woman of the Year, my Grammy.
The award/bar has the wallpapers and this framing of gold from the bar, and them continuing, instead of giving like a flat line that just ends and you see the wallpaper on the wall. It's a very neat way to incorporate wallpaper, and even sometimes it kind of looks like artwork just on it. They use some sort of metal. It's very beautiful. And this stone as well, the bar table is beautiful.
TV household. We have a TV in every
We
room.
have TVs everywhere. And then of course we have some of our awards up here. Chrissy's Glamour Woman of the Year, my Grammy, Emmy, Oscar, Tony things, Chrissy's Mac and Cheese Award.
This is, to me, this is
that was what we did during our first holiday special.
I'm going to talk about the backing in awards bar. So that reflects even the gold of the awards. That brightens up the room automatically. You look in there and it reflects light. That is a very easy way to draw attention into a room or to the awards themselves. It's like they're shiny, but they're not shiny enough. Chandelier, it said, is designed by Alison Berger, and it is stunning. I think it's very thoughtful. It's a very intricate way of incorporating local artists, you know, into your homes, or like the artwork in that way. It's clearly private. It's subtle way, but also very like standout way of making your house more personalized. And also it kind of shows how, you know, art doesn't like end in just one form. It's really cool to incorporate your art in your house in different ways. It doesn't have to be slapping on a painting on a wall. It could take form of sculpture, and sculpture comes in different shapes, sizes, looks as well. So I think this is perfect.
We sometimes stay at Kelly Worcster's house. She's a great designer, and she has a Malibu house, and it has a tree like right in the living room, kitchen area. And we were like, we want a tree inside our house too. So this tree actually is an olive tree that used to be alive, for real, but it's not alive now. And so we like literally dug 6 feet deep, put the roots down, put this tree here, not ourselves.
Yeah, we did it.
And it has silk leaves that don't fall down. They're attached to the tree, and it still looks and feels real, but it's not alive. It was formerly alive. And
We embalmed it.
we embalmed it, basically.
Around it, we have this beautiful.
This is a custom designed kind of gold ring around the tree.
It's our Christmas tree during Christmas time, so we put the presents underneath it here. The kids will cut out little shapes and we'll hang it from the leaves, and we'll put twinkling lights in it around the holidays, and it's just such a centerpiece, obviously.
So Kelly Wessler, if you don't know, is a maximalist designer. She does really cool things where she's able to incorporate outdoor materials into interior spaces very calmly and very like they should be here. Even though when you look at the materials, you're like, why is this in here? But it's, yeah, she just has a way with textures. Anyways, so they're saying they got a tree in the middle of the house because they spend a lot of time in the house, and I think it actually is very nice. It's a very nice way to change an entryway or fill in the gap in the entryway, really. And I can see the copper tones on the base of the tree. It's not a live tree. It was incorporated. It's a dried up tree. I think it's well done, pretty preserved well. I'm sure there are many ways that you can incorporate trees, maybe not that big, in your house, but if you can also do something the way they've done it, then, you know, kudos to you. I'm just going to give you some examples of how to incorporate trees as well that you can put in your house, like olive trees. They can give similar effect to them.
So now we're in the dining room, which not really a room, it's just all part of the great room, but this is where we would have formal dining, but we almost never have formal dining.
Never. Actually, my Girl Scouts sit here.
The Girl Scouts sit here. Chrissy's a Girl Scout troop leader, believe it or not. Yeah. But this table is just beautiful. It's the heaviest table you could possibly imagine. It takes like an army to move it after this.
No.
Like, it's just gonna stay here forever. And we didn't like it. The fireplace felt like a little too fake and cheesy. We decided to make it 2 pillars instead. And we put this beautiful, based on Chrissy's idea, put this beautiful art installation.
So let's talk about the actual dining room. There's a lot of texture here, very quietly textured. There are themes of branches, of flowers, of very subtle flower textures in here, from what I can see. So they actually don't use the dining room like that. So I imagine that breakfast table that I showed earlier is really where people sit if you want to eat properly.
Army to move it.
Agreed.
So we're never gonna move it after this.
No.
Like, it's just gonna stay here forever. This used to actually be a full wall with a fireplace, and we didn't like it. The fireplace felt like a little too fake and cheesy. We decided to make it 2 pillars instead, and we put this beautiful, based on Chrissy's idea, put this beautiful art installation.
I did ketamine, and I basically was like therapeutic ketamine.
Yes.
Like a therapy.
Doctors.
I like what they did with the wall behind the dining room. It literally was a fireplace, as they said, and they turned it into 2 separate walls. I like the curve. It literally is a physical separation from something so solid, but at the same time, they used these very subtle flowers that look like they just pinned them in there, and I think many of you can recreate that with butterflies, for example. The other types of flowers that you like as well. The colors, it's almost like a very milky white, and then this very light pink. It's like just a nice, to it. Okay, so it is an art installation. I'm sure you can install your own art, or you can give it a try as a project. Do it on a baseboard or something, and then if you like how it looks, then you can give it a try in your apartment as well.
This is Luna's bedroom, guys, and how cool is this bedroom? We just kind of gave Jake some vague notes about how we wanted the kids' rooms to look, and when he came back with drawings of like what they were actually going to look like, I was like, this is beyond anyone's wildest dreams of what their bedroom should look like. She has a slide that she goes both up and down.
Yes, mostly up these days.
Yeah.
A little kitchen with her easy bake oven, a little swinging couch. She has a little beautiful nook up here that her and Miles will have little sleepovers in. That's the bed where Manny and Amelia Bedelia book are read.
Yeah, we read a lot of stories over there.
And then we put up all those little, those star stickers, the glow-in-the-dark stickers and stuff together.
1, 2, 3.
One thing I'm going to say that I think was very smart in Luna's bedroom is the size of the bed. So you don't want to be changing kids' bedroom every 2 months. Kids grow so fast and you're going to be spending money on it. So it's better you just pick a bed that they can grow into. The tones that was used were carefully put, in case the kids' personality changes, you need to think about that. Although the ceiling, I'm sure it's going to change. You have to account for that. But I think they're able to allow their designer work freely as they highlighted. I think that is when you get magical designs, literally, and that is exactly what Jake has done here.
Hey guys, this is my room.
Hey guys, this is my room.
Miles loves cars, if you can't tell. The centerpiece is, of course, the Jeep bunk bed. And then Miles has a cave over here where he can read. And then it has just a whole play area up here too.
There's a little climbing wall in the corner where he can climb up that way to get up on the second little story of his nook and his cave. Good storage for all of his dinosaurs. So many dinosaurs.
And giraffes.
They love looking down from the net that's up here. And then you can see the kids when they come up on top here.
Jake did a good job.
Jake did a good job, he said.
I think the headline of this story is Jake did a good job.
I think Miles's bedroom definitely shows that adventurous spirit in it. Climbing wall, especially, I think is something that can incorporate into your own home. And I think even the materials used to create his cave as well, if you want to incorporate things like that, you can as well. I don't think you have to. The ropes and things like that, there's a subtle ways or subtle things you can be creative to put that as a hangover over a bed and something like that, but nothing too extravagant if you don't want that. But this definitely looked like it was tailored to Miles, and even the Jeep bed as well, I think is great. But compared to Luna's room in that regard, where obviously Miles is younger than Luna, so I can see that Miles's room would definitely need a new bed over time.
Okay, so we're in the theater now, and we actually don't watch a lot in here, but the kids do. They watch Scooby-Doo in here, and then sometimes we'll have a movie night in here.
Because we like to jumpy.
Yeah, it's really easy place to jump and not get hurt, and Miles loves it. Look at him.
What I love about this room is it's plush, it's feminine, it's beautiful.
And it's stylish too.
It's stylish, it's cool. We like to be in here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful room.
We normally have a nacho machine here. Can you show them the cheese?
I do have the cheese, actually.
We have cheese. We have
I love it. I really do. I feel like it is something I've never seen before. I think it's such a creative way to do seating in a cinema room. I think it looks squishy and soft, and definitely fall asleep watching movies here. I'll feel cozy. That's what this room is giving. And I like the lighting as well. It's very like, there's light here, but it's not going to interrupt the movie. Very moon-like. Use of cabinets in this room. As you can see, I mean, I know she's going for aesthetics with what looks like white Smarties and some of the marshmallows and things. It's cute. But I think the use of cabinets is really good. You can store your snack. You have to walk all the way to the kitchen to do that. You have a designated theater room or movie room. I think it's really cool. The chairs, I think the tone, it's almost like it looks almost gray as well in a way. It just works. I think to create those chairs, you can use like individual beanbags. You can, they make them in different shapes nowadays.
So now we're in the family room, and this room is where, if we're gonna have a big group over to watch anything that we wanna watch, whether it's like the big game, so
we're going to look at their family room, which is the main living room. So I think the one we saw was too small, and this is their great big family room. I love the pink and the green, and I like the subtle tones of wood as well. I think they just sweet union as well. And there's plants as well. They have some flowers and the centerpiece, which also reflect those exact colors as well. It's almost like more mushroom top seating, where I think people put their feet on, I imagine, because of the roundness of it. I think that'll be perfect. I would call them footstools. I don't know what they use it for, but I would use it as a footstool. And if you notice as well, they introduced a pattern to break between those solid colors as well. I think the use of a pattern is very good. So everything doesn't look like just one tone. It kind of gives a break, but also still gives that union of these two colors, or like interaction with them, but it's like the in-between of it. Okay, I'm gonna say one thing. Look at the gold back on those chairs. And again, you can see the ergonomic. You can see that S-curve-ish, that is there. I'm sure that it looks like it's bouncy, but that sharp gold behind it, it's beautiful. Chairs like that. Again, with the mushroom that I was saying, and it's now giving moss with the mohair textured green. Oh, look at the piping on the couch as well. You can see the piping reflects the pattern of the other, the cushion that I was mentioning earlier, which is also reflected in the footstools as well. I think that is a good idea.
This is the most magical powder room I could imagine.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's all the same stone all throughout. So the sink, the walls, everything. It's just all this beautiful stone. These sconces are vintage, and it's a vibe in here. Don't you want to move into this powder room?
There's no better place to take a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It just really isn't.
Yeah. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
How intentional the designer Jake was when he was picking this. So being able to use one stone, like the same stone around a room or a bathroom or powder room in this case, allows for a continuity in the pattern, in clean lines as well. So when you're doing joinery, it comes out looking cleaner. It's not very obvious that these were separate stones and all of that. This is just one of the highlights, I would say, if you're trying to achieve this type of look. This blue cream color on this stone, I think it complements the gold that is being used. Faucet is gold. The mirror has a gold outline as well, and even the lighting, as you can see, has like a round gold on it. And even type of light that was used, apart from the scones, which are vintage, is very not so like heavy. So I think they're very subtle. So if someone's coming into the powder room, clearly there's a difference in when they leave the room that they're coming from and entering into this. It's like a change of lighting and almost very intimate.
Okay, now we're in the backyard. We've got a pool, we've got Miles, we've got AstroTurf, we got a water slide over there, a little play structure for the kids.
AstroTurf? No one says AstroTurf. Say,
people that go out watching football, that was like what they called it.
We have turf.
Okay, so now we're looking at the backyard. Stunning, as of course they have great views, a lot of greenery. I can see a pool, I can see a kids' wooden playground as well, and that's beautiful. I think it's very clean. Okay, so they have a water slide, an infinity looking pool. I'm guessing it's an infinity pool.
The upkeep it would take to take grass. Plus, we have so many animals So it would just be a lot, and we discovered that it's much easier to maintain.
Turf.
Okay, so they don't use real grass outside as it's hard for maintenance, so they use astroturf. It's fake grass. Okay, so one thing I'm seeing in the outdoor space is sectioning. They section spaces for different uses. So I can see from the back that there's almost like a climbing playground for the kids and the slide that leads into the pool. Also, there's a small wooden table and stools to sit on. A small collection of small trees that look like massive bonsais. And then there's a different section as well for barbecue dinners and things, outdoors, eating areas. Another way to like section all these spaces without having just a massive space and astroturf and water. Literally to just look like a big backyard, but there's interaction everywhere. Okay, so we're going to look at their bedroom, the master bedroom. I'm excited to see what this looks like. I think the tones are beautiful already. I'm seeing some texture as well.
This is actually my therapy area. So my therapist comes in twice a week, sits on this chair, and I lay here. And it's exactly what you would imagine.
I like the therapy space, the bedroom. I like the couch being used there. It's almost like a very classic version of a chair, grandma chair or something. Definitely looks like a very comfortable chair and befitting of a therapist too, for them to be comfortable. And the mohair brown chair as well, I imagine that is very comfortable and texture-wise, you want to keep doing this. I like the use of an old table, a table that they've used for every apartment they've lived in. I think that's very good. Introducing something very dear to you in your bedroom. And again, we're seeing the use of this curved rug. And again, Jake the designer, uses this as almost like a conversation I'm seeing between the furniture is allowed to interact with. And then, of course, the pictures behind them, which is more intimate family pictures. I think that's really good. Bring that into your bedroom.
Very warm and earth tony, and we just want it to feel like super cozy and not too bright, everything muted.
Just really cool. I love the side tables, the colors matching the raffia again. I'm gonna have examples or way that you can actually shop featured similar pieces of furniture that you can incorporate into your own house. So there's also a day bed in the bedroom, which is very unique, and also add to your bedroom or your living room. I would suggest, if you have like a reading room or an area for reading, you can introduce a day bed to it. And I love this. The lamp beside the bed is very nice. It looks very old school. Such a nice milky beige color. The fact that it works with this rattan or raffia material. Rattan is actually it's like a vine plant, and so the stems are like a woody texture, and you usually use them to make furniture. And raffia is a bit more, it's like seagrass. That is typically the difference. So I'm not very sure which of them is really used here, but it has that same effect as well. And I like that is what they used as the walls where the bed is facing. The fact that there's also like a box that is a different wood as well, almost like a framing of where the bed should be, even though they are using like a velvety bed, which is very unconventional. I think it's very nice. So we're looking at my favorite part. Okay, let me say one of my favorite parts of their house, which is this beautiful bathroom. I love the pink bathtub, and I like the use of these flowers. I think it obviously is staged for us, but I really like the fact that they use this subtle blush pink bathtub. It's very different from using a white one, and the shape of it too is very cocoony, and it also continues the shape of the curve that is very much present in this household. I like the use of curtains, and you can see they're perforated as well. You need like very breathable type of curtains if you're introducing things like this into your bathroom. You don't want it to get musty and grow mold and things like that. So that is definitely a very smart choice. Another thing I'm going to highlight is the faucet. The fact that it's gold faucets being used, but they have this copper bronzy look. I think that is definitely from interaction with heat and temperature. When water touches this type of bathroom detailing, I think it gives this beautiful look, and it's not such a shiny gold that looks fake. I think it's more subtle but well lived in, but also durable as well. So I definitely think if you're gonna use gold, you should also look into this type of bathroom detailing. I really like that the bathroom has like a symmetry to it. Exactly what's happening on the left side is what happened on the right side. I like the big cabinet, the fact that the sinks are separated as well. They both do skincare. It is very evident that there is enough space for everyone in this bathroom. And the use of a rug, the bathroom as well shows it's almost like a very dry area. And if you notice, the marble used in the bathroom is the same stone used in the shower. Unlike the powder room, I would say the shower has more of a similar or the same stone but different cuts of the stone, which is fine, and it still looks very beautiful as well. Much cheaper as well if you use different stones rather than the same stone. You can use different stones to create like very unique pieces in your bathroom. Use one particular stone for the sink or just top of the bathroom sink area, and that becomes like the highlighted space in your bathroom. I'm seeing this interaction of wood and marble on the bathroom floor, and then obviously the rug as well, that it looks very cushy and comfortable. Also that separation of warm space and wet space or dry space in the bathroom. So I really liked this house. It is definitely one of my favorite that I've ever seen, you know, any celebrity owned. I think it's very well thought of. It shows personality, shows that these people live here and they know why their house looks like this. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, please subscribe to Surbanist, and we'll have many more videos like this. And we also have travel videos. We also have tutorials as well. You know, we're here to just show you the world of design and art and bring you along the process of how to design your homes. See you in the next video.